inspiration behind Code Black was really the darkest time in my life that I can ever recall. I mean, the word sad doesn't even begin to cover what I was feeling. I had so much hate for myself, for everyone around me, because when you hate yourself, it projects onto other people. And I think, it's such a hard thing to deal with depression, especially at a young age, because sometimes you don't really understand, again, what's happening to you. You wake up, you feel miserable, you feel like you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to shower, you don't want to sleep, you don't want to wash your hair. You just exist, and you exist in this very sort of dark and sad place. I was having a really hard time at school. Every day it was just relentless. The names got meaner. The teasing was just constant. And then I would go home and I would feel so badly about myself. All I wanted to do was get in bed and, pull the covers over my head and just shut the entire world out. But with depression comes self-destruction. And that's where the title Code Black actually really comes into play, because Code Black is a term used in a hospital for bomb threat. And that's what they say. And so for me, I was in such a dark space. One thing that I wanted more than anything was to control my narrative. I had lost control of everything around me. I'd lost control of my own feelings. And I sort of made this decision. If I was gonna feel this way, if I had to feel this way, and these people were gonna be so cruel, and this is what was gonna go on, I want my self-destruction to be something I do myself. I don't wanna give that up to someone else. I don't want them to think that they got me. I want to do it myself. And that's a really destructive mindset to have, but it's where I was at. And so at that moment in time, I really decided, okay, fine, let's play ball. What do you do when, you've got nothing left to lose? You just explode. And that's exactly how I felt, and I did explode, and I paid a hefty price tag for it. But depression is still something I struggle with to this day, but you can overcome it, and there's a lot of much healthier ways to cope than what I was doing at 14 or 15 years old. So I think, when I say Code Black and I say a bomb threat, self-destruction, this explosion that I had within myself. Self-destruction for me was pushing away everybody I loved. It was sleeping all day. It was not eating. It was, picking fights with the people who are closest to me, the people who are supposed to love me more than anything in this world. I'm so angry inside, I just want to push everybody away. It was staying in a very toxic relationship. There's all different forms of self-destruction. Some people, use self-harm as a tool. Some people go through what I went through, which is you push everybody who loves you away. You stop showering, you stop eating, you stop caring. You stop caring. And I think, depression really is that you lose all hope, and therefore you lose all care. I remember the day I walked into the studio and I came in, and my friend Jalen was there, who's a very talented producer, and my friend Pierre James was there, and he's just a phenomenal piano player. And I remember coming in that day knowing that this is kind of the type of song that I needed to write. It was one of the last songs that I wrote for the project, because I think that it was one of the hardest for me to really want to dive into, because it's really sad. And, I would have loved Code Black to be sort of what Creature was, which is this really deep song that's hidden behind this massive dance beat, and you acknowledge something without really acknowledging it. And as I was writing it, I realized it couldn't be that at all. It had to be completely stripped. It had to be a piano vocal. It had to be me in my most raw form. The song is painful. The lyrics are painful. And to just hear a voice against a piano, it was the only way it made sense. I love the track, I love the song, but it does have this feeling of emptiness attached to it, and that's done on purpose. It's not supposed to sound like this super grand ballad. It's supposed to sound a little sparse because that's how I felt at that time. I didn't really have anything to give. There was just a lot of pain. So when I was at my lowest point with, my depression and Code Black, I mean, just the bottom of the barrel, I think my mom was really sort of conflicted about what to do. How could she help me? And I think her solution was a really, really creative one. Her solution is sitting on my lap. His name is Bentley. He's the love of my life. I love this dog more than anything in this world. He saved my life. He taught me how to love when I had nothing but hate. All this hate I had for myself turned into love for this little dog that I had to, take care of. And, I trained him and we spent every minute together. He's my best friend. I love him. And, it was a crazy time for me, and he really pulled me out of what was one of the darkest periods of my life, because I just think, you can't not like an animal. You can't not love an animal. And at that time, I needed something unconditional. And that's what Bentley was for me. He's unconditional love. And he's just a sweetheart. And to this day, when I don't feel good, he's seen a lot. And this is, he's who I grab when I just want to cry and I'm having a bad day. And I thank God every day for Bentley.